Hi, I'm City Manager Ed Zuercher, and welcome to another edition of Doing What Matters, the show where we talk to Phoenix employees about the work they do every day to serve the community. We're here today at the Phoenix Fire Dispatch Center, where over 80 employees work around the clock to take phone calls from the public. And I'm joined by Jennifer Gonzales, who's one of our fire dispatchers. Jennifer, thanks for being with me today. And you have been a fire dispatcher for 15 years. So tell us about the career or the work of a fire dispatcher.
Well, we come in every day and we start either by taking phone calls or we do radio. And usually it's about 4 hours in either position. If you're answering the phones, you could answer the 911s or you could answer informational question lines. Fire department, this is Jenny. And then when you're radio, you're talking to the fire engines as they're en route to calls or on calls and getting them the specific equipment they need.
No, I understand there can be up to 1,500 calls a day. That's a lot of stress, a lot of pressure of taking calls and you're truly the first responder through the radio system. How does that work in working with the firefighters who are out there in the field? What's that like?
We always try to get them the equipment that they need, whether it be a rescue or additional manpower or PD, as quickly as possible, so that they're not staying on the scene longer than needed, or they're providing the best patient care they can.
And I'm sure most people wonder, how do you do such a stressful job? Because you're hearing people often at their worst. How do you deal with that stress and that pressure of helping people in life and death situations?
Well, we, as dispatchers, we all just take each call, and we try to provide, whether it's a hurt finger or whether it's a drowning, the best care we can provide, because that's why we all became dispatchers, is that call, whether it's, like I said, a hurt finger, that's their emergency at that time.
Right.
And so we want to provide the best care and get them the best help they can get.
And you guys do a tremendous job. In fact, I know there's one specific incident that recently happened with you that sort of as an example of the work that goes on every day, was a drowning call. Tell us about the call in March where you assisted someone on a drowning call.
I answered a 911, and it was a father, and he reported his daughter had been in the pool and wasn't breathing. And so I told him to get her flat on her back, and we started CPR fairly quickly, because he was calm and he did listen to what I was telling him to do.
So you're on the phone with him, and over the phone you're helping him as he's administering CPR to his child.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and it did help, because he did stay calm, and he listened to what I was instructing him to do. So it did go smoothly, and he provided his daughter with the best care she could have gotten as quickly as possible.
And the outcome of that for the child was what?
She walked away completely normal, a full recovery.
So that had to be tremendously gratifying.
It was.
Now you have to be trained in this. What kind of training is necessary for fire dispatch?
We do on-the-job training, and we do. They train us in the classroom. It's been a while, but I believe it's like 16 weeks of training, and then you train with a one-on-one person at the console as they monitor you learning to do the job.
And you know CPR because you get trained. How often do you have to do refresher training with CPR or other techniques like that?
We do it every 2 years. We recert every 2 years, and we go through the class.
Wow, and this proved the value of that.
Yes, definitely.
Now, we're talking a lot about water safety now. We're going to talk with Chief Jameson and some others about the importance of water safety. From a dispatcher's perspective, what advice would you give people about water safety?
I would tell people to make sure, one, that they do learn CPR, even if you don't have a pool. You never know what time or when you're going to need it. Also, if you are the person in charge of watching the kids in the pool, make sure you don't get distracted and that you just pay attention and that be your only focal point.
Yeah, we've discussed, even just for a second, you don't want to look away.
Yeah.
And we always want to be mindful of that at home for parties or just when it's just your own kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for what you've done. I'm sure the family that you worked with is grateful, and you're a great representation of all the people we see here who are doing the work every day.
They all have the same stories that nobody's heard about, and that's why we choose to do the job, is because of those stories.
That's
they
tremendous.
make it worth it.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us, Jennifer.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. To learn more about the importance of water safety, go to the website on your screen. For Doing What Matters, I'm City Manager Ed Zuercher.